So US Bank could be one of the hardest big banks to get approved for. But what most people miss is that once they trust you, they scale aggressively. We're going to be talking about how US Bank determines who gets access, what bureaus they pull from, how high their limits potentially go, and everything that you need to build a healthy relationship with the fifth largest bank in the country that just in the fourth quarter of 2025 brought in over $3.37 billion in revenue. We want to find out how to build a relationship with this bank to reach our financial goals, increase our net worth, and help close the wealth gap. So I'm going to be reading from my notes, giving you the details that you need to learn more about US Bank, all of the data points and the strategy necessary to build a mutually beneficial, healthy relationship with this bank. We're not going to be doing hacks and pleas and all of that. We're going to be getting into the weeds on how to build a structured, long-term, successful relationship with this bank to start reaching our financial goals. With them being the fifth largest bank in the country, there's a very good chance that you bank with them, have banked with them, or a good chance you may bank with them at some point in time. So this is yet another financial institution we're covering in this series that we're going to master so we can, again, leverage this relationship to reach our financial goals and increase our net worth. So again, what I'll be covering is underwriting culture, bureaus they pull from, known high credit limits, best products that they offer, who US Bank is best for, how to position yourself, and how to leverage US Bank to help close the wealth gap. So US Bank's risk culture, let's take a look at that. They are known to be a conservative financial institution, inquiry sensitive, relationship focused, deposit behavior driven. As far as bureau tendencies, Experian is the most frequent, TransUnion is secondary, Equifax is rare. So keep that in mind. Most important, US Bank is known to dislike 3+ hard inquiries in a 6-month window of time. They are not a fan of that. Heavy recent credit velocity, meaning you've opened several accounts in recent times. Thin but aggressive profiles, meaning that you may not have a deep credit profile or a diverse credit profile, but at the same time, what you do have has been done aggressively in a short window of time. Not a good look. They are not a churn-friendly bank, meaning that, I'm going to get one of their cards, get in with them real quick, get their intro bonus, close the card out, move on to the next one. Not a good institution to do that. Most institutions aren't a good place to do that, but US Bank is particularly conservative and restrictive in that department. So let's talk more about what US Bank does reward. Low risk, stable earners. They love low risk, stable earners. That is something that they pull greatly to. So when we talk about credit products with US Bank, we know the US Bank offers the Cash Plus Visa. Highlights on this one: 5% back on selectable categories, flexible earnings. This is going to be a strong long-term card. The highest known limits that have been out there are 5 to 20,000 on the common limit side. Strong profiles see 25,000 plus. In rare cases, reports above 35,000, but it's not common, but it's possible. So this is going to be good for stable prime borrowers. All right. The second one is the US Bank Altitude Go. Dining focused, solid everyday card. Highest known limits, often 3 to 15,000. Strong borrowers can exceed 20,000. It's a good stepping stone card, might be a good way to put it. Number 3, US Bank Altitude Reserve Premium. So premium travel, strong underwriting, Visa Infinity. So some of the highest known limits, frequently 10 to 30,000. This is going to be one of those higher spend requirement cards. They're expecting you to do really respectable levels of spend for intro bonuses and on an ongoing consistent basis, annual fees, but great travel perks and benefits. So again, intro limits likely $10,000 is probably going to be the baseline to even get approved. Up to 30 is a pretty common frequency, but well-positioned borrowers can see $40,000 to $50,000 limits on this card. So that having been said, again, strong underwriting. You have to have a good, stable income, respectable credit profile. This is far from an entry-level card. Strong income, low recent inquiries will help you get good results with that card. US Bank offers a secure Visa. So a builder product, a credit builder product, conservative graduation, general range limits, 300 to 5,000 typical, but don't rush to graduate. Stability wins with this cause. So keep that in mind if you're in that position. So why people get denied with US Bank? Let's talk about a few data points that stand out. Common denial reasons would be too many recent accounts. That's a big one. High utilization, short history, insufficient relationships, recent balance transfers. All of these things tend to be unattractive in the eyes of US Bank. So keep that in mind before you apply if you're not already there. So US Bank doesn't reward optimization, they reward stability. Again, not going to be a very friendly bank for you to open multiple accounts, double, triple dip with, all these other hoops and flips and tricks. They're not that kind of institution if you want to build long-term sustainable success with them. So keep in mind, you want to provide stability and present stability. So let's dip into business banking and lending for a quick second as well, for my entrepreneurs and small business owners, etc. We have silver, gold, platinum business checking accounts. We have SBA 7A loans available. So this is an SBA-backed lender, which is a good thing. Term loans available, lines of credit. What they prefer to see when we start to dig into the lending component of the business banking relationship, business lending. 2 years in business, consistent deposits, strong personal backing. So your personal financials and credit need to be in a strong position, right? Clean business cash flow. Credit bureaus for business cards oftentimes Experian. Limits entry businesses may see 5 to 15,000. Stronger profiles, business and personal combined, could see 25,000. They are not the most aggressive lender, but very stable long term. So if you're looking for something more aggressive, more flexibility that you can kind of come in the door, getting 2 and 3 products at a time, US Bank may not be your first option. For those of us that are looking to max out our relationship with these institutions, particularly US Bank, they do offer mortgage and asset access. So we have conventional mortgage products, FHA and VA mortgage products, home equity lines of credit. They even offer construction loans, which is great. So let's talk about some of the things to emphasize when we get into the mortgage arena with them. DTI, under 43% ideally. That's an income ratio for those of you who aren't familiar. Asset seasoning. You may need to present reserves or some other financial backing to show that whatever money you're putting into the deal is not the only money you have. So if you got IRAs, 401ks, or just general savings, you want that money to have been there for quite some time. 6 months, a year, 2 years is ideal. Employment consistency, very important. So Wealth Insight, they prefer low volatility borrowers. Stable earners will win. I keep driving that point home. So let's talk about wealth gap levers like I do at every single bank that we cover. Let's talk about what perks, benefits, that products that are available or what they can provide you per bank that will allow you to close the wealth gap, will allow you to increase your financial positioning. Structured credit building is available with US Bank. We talked about the secure card. They offer that product and other products that can help you build or rebuild your credit. High limit prime scaling. Once you're stable and in the right position, you can get very respectable limits with this institution, and this opens you up in the eyes of other institutions. Conservative mortgage approval. So they're not going to be the ones to just roll out the red carpet and make it overly easy to get approved for their mortgages, but they do have several different mortgage programs available. And this is another lever that you can use to close the wealth gap, because I say all the time, the wealth gap is also synonymous to a home ownership gap, a real estate ownership gap. So US Bank can be a good bank to turn to if you're already there. Stable business lending. They reward patience, liquidity, and discipline. The gap narrows when access compounds. The wealth gap narrows when access compounds. Very important. So please keep in mind what I just laid out for you. So let me give you a blueprint on, if I were advising you one-to-one, on how you want to work through developing your relationship with US Bank, okay? You want to open your checking account first, ideally setting up your direct deposit. From there, let 3 to 6 months pass. Keep your inquiries to a minimum basis. Keep utilization on any other cause under 20% ideally. Apply strategically when you finally do. And be patient. Show liquidity in your deposit accounts. Show good savings habits. And be patient with the credit products with U.S. Bank. Don't try to grow too aggressively. Very important. Again, you have the American Expresses of the world out there. Bank of America has, shown in history to be one of those banks that it's not hard to get multiple products with and maybe get heavy increases in 3 to 6 month windows. U.S. Bank is more conservative, sometimes even more conservative than other larger institutions. So grow slow and steady and make sure your behavior is consistent and stable with them. This is not a bank for impulse moves. But if you're already banking with them or you're planning on banking with them, it is possible to get some strong financial positioning out of U.S. Bank. So this is the blueprint. As I say in every video, comment down below. Let me know if you're banking with this institution, victories, wins you've had with this institution, successes, specific products or programs they have available that I didn't cover in this video that you think would be useful to complement this video. The more in depth you get down in the comment section down below with these institutions, the more information we can pool together to navigate these relationships. So I want you to comment down below access and comment your relationship with U.S. Bank, any warnings or opportunities down in the comment section down below. To all my pioneers, welcome back. To my new viewers, welcome in. Like, comment, share, subscribe, support the video, support the channel so the channel can continue to support you. Get in the description section down below. Time with me on Instagram and TikTok. Also, if you're new to the channel and stuck it out this far to get the value, I'm a career banker by trade, 14 plus years in the industry, financial services professional. I have an active mortgage loan originators license, FINRA investment license, life insurance license, and a small business banker as well. Client book on the deposit side is about $25 million between consumers and small businesses, nearly $50 million in investments, as well as a book I manage in 7 to 8 figures a year in lending relationships. So you're getting this information from somebody who's trained, certified, and experienced to cover this information with you. I'm not your banker, and technically I'm not giving you financial advice because I'm not your specific banker or financial professional. But at the end of the day, I am doing my best to bring you the educational information you need to do your own research and to at least have something to build off of as you're dealing with these institutions one-to-one. Other than that, I want each and every one of you to stay focused, stay in motion. I'll see y'all soon.